Come to us.
Come on,
little one.
Come on, get in
Come
here.
on.
Come on,
Come here.
Don't be shy.
Get away.
Okay.
Get away from me right now. Goodbye.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Come on.
Come here.
Come on, just a little bit.
Come on.
Little bit.
Shh.
Little bit. Just come closer.
Don't.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to Up at Noon live.
Hi.
43. Okay, just seriously, just chill.
Are you okay?
It's like it's so disorienting. Normally the camera just stands there, and
We've never had one of these before.
It's so cool. It's like a weird big giraffe.
Look how much
robot,
money we spent.
Kind of. We didn't spend any money.
We didn't spend any money.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Up at Noon. I'm Brian Altano. This is Max. It's going away again. We keep scaring. Come on. Come here.
There we go.
There we are.
Yeah. Okay.
Come here. Come here.
Yeah, so Up at Noon Live. This is a show we do every week, and
That's
normally it's a sort of a trash fire, but this week it's a very expensive trash fire because we're at E3.
Ultimate trash fire.
Ultimate trash fire of destruction. We have a lot of other stuff coming up on IGN. There are a bunch of cool press conferences that are going to happen. We've already seen the EA one, and then coming up next after this, we've got Mafia 3 in action.
Yeah, I'll be here for that.
Have you seen stuff from that?
Oh yes.
Is it cool?
Yes, it's very cool. And I'm not just saying that because I'm Italian.
Okay.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah, and after that, we got the Bethesda press conference at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. So basically, you know the drill. Just stay put.
Yeah, just hang out.
And beautiful, wonderful things happen right in front of you.
Get a nice big bowl of sauce. And,
you look good today,
just
Max.
hang out. Thanks. A lady rubbed stuff on my face. I'm told it's makeup.
You have a really weird way of describing makeup. A lady rubbed stuff on my face.
Yeah, well, that's what she did. It was some stuff. Anyway, we've got some cool stuff going on. I'm actually really excited. We're going to have the Bethesda press conference.
Yep.
There's a pre-show for that, and then there's going to be a post-show that I'm going to be on. So
first, I wanted to do a little magic trick with you.
Okay.
I wanted to try something. Okay.
Are we going to try to summon something?
We're going to try a trick. The camera's going to focus on us right now, and there's going to be only two of us here. But when the camera pops to a wide shot, there will be a third person here.
Really?
We will magically make a third person appear on this show using nothing but very simple rudimentary camera tricks.
It's the magic of cinema.
Now, who would you like to appear if you had one wish of any person in the universe?
Ancient spirits of evil. Summoned Dan Reichert.
Yes! Dan Reichert is here, ladies and gentlemen. Almost.
Is he here?
The trick takes a long time.
Right?
The trick takes a long time to work sometimes.
Dan Reichert, appear. Appear before us.
Ha!
Appear.
Yeah, there we go.
It worked. It worked.
Yeah.
They made me wear makeup, and then they took away my damn water.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Welcome to Hollywood, buddy. How you doing, man?
Brian, Greg, great to see you. How you doing?
Come on.
Yeah. Nice to meet you. You're taller than I expected.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Always. How's it going?
Hi, Dan.
Great. How are you guys?
Yeah, pretty good.
Dan, you've been at Giant Bomb for how long now?
Almost 2 years exactly now.
Wow, that's nuts. And you, before that, you were a Game Informer?
I was for about 5 years.
In the Midwest, and now you're in
Yes.
San Francisco.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm kind of starting to like it.
The games industry, or just being
The
alive?
games industry I've always been, up on, but yeah, the California thing, living out on the coast. I'm very much a, Kansas, Midwestern dude.
It takes a minute, right?
Yeah, it's nice though. There's good and bad stuff.
How many E3s is this for you?
10.
Good
It's been 10. My first one was 06. Yeah.
Wow, you might have the record on the show today. We'll
Oh,
see.
yeah?
Yeah.
I was back at Lawrence.com, the old Lawrence, Kansas website that I worked for.
Weird. Lawrence.com.
Yeah, top of the line there, yeah.
Wow. So what was your coverage like way back then? What are your
Only reviews.
only reviews?
I didn't do, so I don't even know what,
what did you
I
do
was
at
doing
E3?
here, I walked around and I played games.
Oh, okay.
and,
10 out of 10.
Yeah, it was great. So,
Box quote of the year.
yeah.
What are you hoping for this year? What do you think's going to happen?
well, I'm super excited about Zelda, but I don't know anything about that yet. Kind of a out of left field thing. I want to see a new Resident Evil. Because, and when I say that, I don't mean Resident Evil 7, because 6 was terrible. And, it sucked, because, the old format was kind of winding down by the time 3 came along.
Yeah.
I was kind of tired of that. And then 4 is like, holy shit, this is the best thing.
4 was the best one.
Yes, 4 is incredible.
Also, you cannot curse in the show, but I'm so glad you just did.
Yeah.
No, it's probably super live, right? Yeah. All right. So,
good lord.
Those are some of our favorite Resident Evil characters.
yes, there we go. Yeah,
In the
there's
new one,
Leon.
they're adorable,
They're
but don't trust them
Cerberus.
because they're
You
terrifying.
can see Nemesis right there.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, who knows? I'd love to see some kind of reboot. Like every series does the thing where it's just like, hey, here's the non-numbered. Hey, we're going back to the basics or whatever. I'd like to see that with Resident Evil because I just played the remake, the remaster of the remake they just put out.
Yeah.
And that reminded me of oh man, that old actually scary Resident Evil. I want that again and go back, get away from what 6 was. Also, I want more of these.
You want more Amiibo?
Yeah, I went down this terrible rabbit hole where when they first came out, I was like, Amiibos are stupid.
Yep.
I never want to buy one. And I still think they're stupid. They don't do anything in-game. I've never actually used them for anything. I don't use the Mario Maker things I unlock. But I like having a big shelf full of these things.
Me too.
And I bought 70-something of them now.
Yeah, you've got
Did you get every one?
I'm missing like 20. I'm still trying to hold off. Like, I don't want to buy a Shulk one because I don't even know what Shulk is from. Or,
Okay, so you have
for She-Hulk.
Yeah.
oh, I see. Okay, is that a Marvel thing?
Yes.
Oh, crossover.
You actually
Okay,
have better
great.
restraint than me because I went down that same rabbit hole and I bought every single one just because like you get that collector's bug of like completionism where you need every single one.
Yeah.
And I bought a bunch. Like I'm not the biggest Pokemon guy, but I bought them all anyway.
Yeah,
And I'm
I'm
like,
the same
I
way.
don't even
Yeah,
know
that's
why
weird.
I'm doing this.
I think you
I don't even know what
hate the
Lucario
Pokemon.
is.
Yeah, I don't. I actively don't like a lot of Pokemons.
Yeah, I've never actually played through a Pokemon game. Hey, Snap was good. Snap was
Snap
good.
was great.
What's your like most wanted amiibo?
I've got an answer for this, Max. It's
Yeah?
it's Mr. Waluigi.
That's a good one. That's a
I
good
really
answer.
like that.
That's a
Waluigi's
larger
cool.
discussion, though. He
Yeah.
deserves his own game.
Sure,
His
sure.
Do you
own
remember,
amiibo.
Speaking of which, do you remember during the GameCube era, fans started a rumor of a game being developed by Nintendo called Waluigi's Taco Stand?
I would play that in a heartbeat. Do you remember they made a Wario World game
Yeah.
for GameCube that no one ever talks about? Like, I tell people, he had a full GameCube 3D platformer. No one remembers this. It wasn't great.
Was this the treasure one?
I think it might have been.
Yeah, and on the
Yeah.
cover he's just like, I
He's
love
in
money.
a pile
I'm
of
a
coins.
sick
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's covered in coins and
Yeah.
he's naked.
Dirty
it's
little
disgusting.
monster.
I used to work at Funko-Land, and I had like a 6-foot-tall cutout of him and all the gold
man.
coins. That
I didn't
kept in
know
my
you
room.
worked at Funko Land.
Yeah, for like 3 years.
God, you go back far.
So-
Was that post Babbage's?
There was Babbage's Software, et cetera, and Funko-Land all turned into GameStop
Yep.
and whatever. Yeah.
So I'm really excited for the point where Amiibo just goes completely like D and E and F list characters. Like I want a Boshi Amiibo from
Is that from Mario RPG?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's like
He's got the like mohawk
he's
and
got
the
like
sunglasses
he's
or
got
whatever.
Yeah, he
it's also
smokes.
it's also weird because like I noticed this thing where they clearly wanted to make Boshi like a really tough Yoshi.
Yep.
And they gave him like the spikes and they gave him like and he's kind of alternative.
Yeah.
But they gave him these breakfast at Tiffany's sunglasses.
Yeah.
And then I noticed that like the Squirtle Squad on Pokemon has the same deal. Like they're not
Yeah.
they're not tough sunglasses.
No, they're like
also-
B-52s.
Yeah, they're like the
almost.
beginning of Terminator 3. They're like
Hey,
It's a Boshi.
not a great scene, but Terminator 3 I'll defend.
I mean,
It might be
is
better
that
than
the
the
hill
first
you're going to
one.
die on? But
It's better than Salvation
Okay.
and Genesis for sure.
wow,
sure.
that's
Those are
those
terrible
some
movies.
I like
bold-
the graveyard
bold statements.
scene where he's got the
Yeah, he's got
casket.
a coffin and a minigun.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
anyway, to back things up,
No,
what else are
I
you,
want that amiibo. Yes,
what else
Terminator
are you
amiibo. That's the
expecting
answer.
to see?
Man,
are your
I want to
predictions?
see Wild. I want to see that Ubisoft
Yeah.
game where you like can ride a bear and turn into a hawk or whatever.
That looks really
seems
cool.
all right. And that weird like Cocaine Cowboys, open world, whatever, Ubisoft, Ghost Recon,
Yeah.
Tom Clancy, whatever the hell it is.
I really wish they were just calling it Cocaine Cowboys because
Yeah,
that would
yeah,
be
that's a
that
good
would be
name.
great.
Yeah.
I feel like Ubisoft has something else. I
Man,
wanted
wow,
to
this
see.
is my favorite part right here. Oh, they didn't,
there
they
it is.
cut-
Yeah, look at him
did they
ride that
cut away
bear.
from the naked snake lady? Is my favorite.
Well, you got to ride the
just-
hawk to the snake lady,
But
lady
it's sort
and
of weird 'cause
summoner.
we got Far Cry Primal, which sort of did a lot of this stuff already.
I really
bummer,
love.
though, I thought.
I love that part where that guy jumps out of the tree like, "Good morning."
Yeah, I want to see more of that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the big one for me is Zelda. You know,
Yeah.
like that's one of my 3 favorite series ever, and this looks to be a very ambitious Zelda. So,
There are very few games in the world where a publisher could be like, "We really only have one game to show you this year," and you'd be like, "It's okay.
Zelda.
It's Zelda." Like you get a handful of those in a life.
Yeah.
That's it. And then and then you wait 5 years and you hope for the next one.
and I hope they do it right because like Skyward Sword, good game, but I don't
Yeah.
know if it's like near the top
Zelda
in the
games,
pantheon
they're
of
kind
Zelda
of like
games.
they're kind of like presidents, you know?
Yes,
You've only seen 5 of them alive in one place.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, consoles. There's a lot of talk about new hardware on the way.
Yes.
We got a mysterious leaked image of what appears to be an Xbox Slim. What do you think is going to happen with consoles?
Obviously, Sony already said that they're not going to really show anything. They already confirmed the Neo or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's going to be 4K and whatever. I would like Microsoft to talk about the super powerful one, because this is the first generation that I've actually gamed specifically on PC.
Right.
You know, I never really had a PC growing up. I was always a console guy. But now everything's multi-platform. Things tend to just run better on PC, look better. And a lot of the console versions of games this generation have kind of underperformed for me. So I would like Xbox to just kind of blow people away. And like, oh, if the rumors of like 4 times more powerful or whatever are true, that'd be great. I mean, I like sitting back with a controller.
I'm totally with you on that. I thought I saw the sales numbers on the Steam boxes, and it was sort of like, this was your chance to get PC gaming in the living room in a way that's totally accessible and easy for everyone. I don't know, people are watching this right now, they're like, it is easy. But it's kind of not. So I think it's cool to get a high-powered system in the living room.
Yeah, I just went through that because I'm playing Overwatch on PC, and I was like, oh, it'll be fine playing on controller. It's all right. But then it's like everyone else's mouse and keyboard, so I'm just getting killed constantly. So I've got a wireless keyboard, but then like the wireless mouse still has lag, and now I'm running an extension cable across the room. Like, it's not super easy with certain games. Like, you know,
what?
I couldn't play StarCraft like
If you're
that.
tired of all these problems, I got a great system for you. It's called the Hula Hoop. And you don't
yeah?
need a darn wire or a plug to
game?
put it in.
The
It's just
hula
you
game?
just get a hula hoop and go out in the yard
Just a fun game. Huh?
The hottest game of 1908.
Is there a pre-order bonus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On that note, we have to go to a commercial. Dan, thank you so much for joining
Absolutely,
us.
anytime.
Where can people find you?
Giantbomb.com and at Dan Reichert for the Twitters.
Cool.
Yeah.
We are going to cut to commercial. We'll be right back in a second with more human beings to talk to about games.
IGN Live at E3, presented by Independence Day Resurgence, in theaters June 24th.
We found something out here.
Oh my God.
Why are they screaming?
They're not screaming. They're celebrating. She has arrived. Shouldn't we be nervous? Yeah.
You up there, get down here.
Come here.
Come here. We want to have
Closer.
a word with
Come on,
you.
come on.
Get in here.
You were
close.
you were very good before, but I want to see the best from you. So
Shouldn't
keep
have climbed up there and turned off the lights. It was very upsetting for both of us.
unacceptable.
Okay, so E3 is turning 21 this year. It has been around for 21 years. I think that's right. I think it was 1995 was the first one. In any case, a lot of weird stuff happens at E3, so we thought we'd give you a crash course in one weird thing that happened every year in the history of E3. Let's start out with the year 1995.
We're going
that
back.
was a long time ago, and it was the summer that A Kiss from a Rose came out from the Batman Forever soundtrack, so for some reason, they had R&B singer Seal perform. Next
What?
up...
Next, we got 1996. Things keep getting weirder. Sony announced that the PlayStation would drop to $199, and by the end of the same day, Nintendo 64 dropped to $199 as well. And Sega came out the next day and said, hey, our system's going to $199 as well. We had 3 price drops in 24 hours. It's insane.
Yeah, that's pretty weird. And then everyone got fun games, and no one ever argued about it again. The end. 1997, what happened there? Oh, this was a fun one. A nice lady dressed up like a sexy nurse carried around invitations to a new studio called Pandemic's booth, and those invitations had condoms in them.
What?
Which is a weird way to promote something called Pandemic.
This is totally real, by the way.
Yep, not making this
1998, Sony picked up game journalists from the airport in stretch Hummers, and inside the Hummers were copies of Gran Turismo playable on in-Hummer televisions. So it apparently was not about ethics in games journalism back then, or in limousines.
Nope. And then 1999, we're getting to the real modern age of gaming. Both David Bowie performed music and Goldberg performed wrestling.
Yeah, they did a duet together that everyone recorded
Yeah.
and threw away.
And then the good old Y2K.
That's right, the year 2000.
That was around the Dreamcast becoming a real big thing, and so Sega had some go-go dancers for Space Channel 5, and the Seaman was there.
They announced a game called Seaman.
Yep.
About a talking fish that you could talk to. That's
my
real.
least favorite Google image results from this entire segment.
Yep.
2001, what happened then?
Sony threw a huge party the night before Microsoft unveiled the Xbox, meaning that lots of the people in the room were furiously hungover.
Yeah,
So-
also, you can't see too well, but the Xbox was announced by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Bill Gates.
Is that true?
Yep. Also, 2002, what happened there?
The U.S. Army was at E3 to announce their new Army recruitment
Really?
tool.
Were they
called-
there? I can't even see them at all. They're invisible to me.
They announced a tool called America's Army, and mainstream media wasn't really happy about gamers being hired to war.
I think this one's my favorite. 2003. You guys remember the Nokia N-Gage, the cell phone that you could play really low-res Game Boy Color games on? Well, they announced the price point of that by having a woman come out on stage and take her shirt off, and the price point of $299 was written on her chest.
That is just horrible.
I don't know why she has a skateboard.
So now
Moving on.
let's do anything to get that picture gone.
Please.
In 2004, that's even worse.
Oh, good
Nintendo unveiled a large, stern man named Reggie Fils-Aimé who said he was all about kicking ass and taking names, and then they unveiled a dual-screen touch-enabled handheld with a built-in microphone, which is totally normal now, but back then, that was crazy town.
Yeah. 2005, this was a fun one. Oh yeah, the power went out. Then the power was out in the West Hall, and that kind of comes in the way of the Electronic Entertainment Expo. 2006,
Yeah.
what's up?
The hottest duet of all time is Miyamoto and Steven Spielberg
Move
playing,
over, Goldberg and David Bowie.
playing tennis together.
Okay.
Sure, that makes sense.
Sure, why not? 2007, everybody decided video games were over, so they moved E3 to Santa Monica, and 10,000 people attended as opposed to the usual 60,000. So that's all 10,000 of them right there.
So no lines. What's
Yep.
up, Ghost Town?
2008.
Yeah, professional snowboarder Shaun White showed everybody what it's like to snowboard on a piece of plastic called the Wii Balance Board that didn't really work.
Finally, a video game peripheral that will tell you you're fat. 2009, what next?
This is all you, baby.
Oh, yeah. James Cameron's Avatar. James Cameron came out and talked about Avatar for 15 whole minutes without showing anything. And Brian thinks this is why he hates Avatar. I wasn't at that E3, so I still like Avatar.
Also, the other reason I don't like that movie is the movie Avatar.
Okay, fair enough. 2010.
Connectimals
Oh,
from
yeah.
the makers of Halo.
Okay.
Comes a game where you touch a bear in a yard.
Yeah, wave your hands at the screen,
Hi,
and
Skittles.
the animals will be there. Okay. 2011, this was my first E3. One thing I could never forget, THQ, known for their big blowout E3 things, they have huge booths. They had so much going on that year. They had a thing going on outside the convention center. They had a free car wash made possible by Saints Row ladies and lots of money. So they're washing the car because Saints Row. 2012, fast forward, where was THQ? They did not even have a booth, but they still had booth babes who were just standing by this Darksiders 2 poster. I'm not joking. They were handing out flyers to be like, we're holding interviews behind closed doors.
Behind a closed
We
poster.
still have, I don't know. Let's
Welcome
move
to
on.
Dollar General.
Yeah.
In 2013, Peggle 2.
Yes. People
He
still.
got that guy, he jumped so high, he's stuck up there.
I love this because people will do like the worst moments of E3 2015, and they'll still throw this clip in. 2014, what do we got?
Ubisoft's push-up contest.
Okay, moving
Exercise.
on. Let's get it over with. Stop it. 2015, last year. Oh, God, no. Remember that? When Aisha
Yeah.
Tyler went in the audience and said, let's make a meme.
Where she interviewed this Madame Tussauds Wax Museum
Let's
man.
make a meme right now. And that guy, if you just search meme man, he comes up. I feel really bad
Steampunk
for him.
Undertaker.
And then that brings us to this year, 2016.
Oh,
Well, I mean, E3
that was last night.
Yeah, E3 hasn't started yet, but we were.
Yeah, all the money
Yeah.
went into the set.
Yeah, pretty much.
What's up now?
All right.
Up at Noon 2016
Yeah.
remix.
All right. It's only worse from here. Okay.
Wow, so, okay, I guess we have to make E3 better from here on out.
Yeah.
They still have to look at that picture. Alexa. If we say your name at the same time, you're
Alexa. Hey, what's
It
up?
is so hard to sit next to you and not laugh.
That's
I'm
Alexa
sorry.
Ray Korea.
Hi.
From Polygon.com.
No, I'm
Oh.
at GameSpot.
Damn it, I'm so sorry. Okay. Hey, everybody. Max
Wait,
Goble
really?
from Destructoid here.
I've been there for
I'm with
2
Brian
years,
Altano
Max.
from 1UP. What?
Welcome George W. Bush to office.
Clearly you saw what we were doing last night. I forgot where you work. I'm a jerk now. I'm awful. Anyway, what's going on? How are you?
Good, how are you?
What are you guys
All right.
doing for New Year's 2013?
Being here?
Good, excellent. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
What's going on in your life in the world of video games?
Video games are coming out, and there are more
It's up to you
coming
to
out.
stop them.
And there's nothing we can do to stop them, basically.
That's what E3 is. It really is a war against time and,
It is.
and wallets.
Time, productivity, health.
Yeah.
Health, yeah. That's why I think there was a moment there where people were trying to make healthy video games, as we saw at that push-up contest back
Oh,
there.
it's over.
It's over.
Yeah.
We fought back.
That game was too hard. Nobody wanted to play it. So what are your predictions for E3 this year? What kind of games do you hope to see out in the world there?
Well, I wanted to see Kingdom Hearts 3, but Square Enix has already crushed that dream before we got there. They released a trailer earlier this week for 2.8, and at the end it just says, Kingdom Hearts 3, more information this winter. And that's it.
That feels like the new anti-hype machine is publishers coming out before a conference or before a show
And just
saying,
blowing it all.
Yeah, saying here's what's not going to be there. I mean, Nintendo did it with Zelda. Square Enix did it now with Kingdom Hearts. You think that's going to be a new trend of just sort of dashing dreams out the gate?
Probably that, and then just not being able to get a handle on your marketing with the amount of leaks that we've had in the
Yeah.
past 2 weeks. I feel like E3 is just, I feel like there's no surprises left. Like even the Xbox Slim leaked this morning.
Yeah,
This is like
Max
Christmas
retweeted.
after
What's
being an
left?
adult, you know?
Yeah.
Your parents like, what do you want? Like gift card or something? You need money? And you're just like, oh, I guess. Oh,
Yeah,
thanks.
Yeah,
it's
there's no
gift card
surprises.
Christmas
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm bummed about that because I love the surprises. You know, like Max retweeted a GIF before of just the LA Convention Center just shooting water out because of all the leaks.
Yeah,
It was
pretty
actually
much.
a huge flood.
E3 leaks. Very dangerous.
But Kingdom Hearts is
Here's
beautiful.
that game that I
Yeah.
will never see.
What else do you think we're going to see?
I think The Last Guardian needs a release date. I think
Yeah.
we're finally going to get it.
I think
I hope
there
it's
needs to
this
be
year.
there needs to be some accountability with that.
Waiting for
They're-
Godot, the game. Just
Pretty
it's
much.
going to show up.
I think the
be
Last
here.
Guardian is the new. Well, it's always sort of been the White Whale, but I think that's the game now. And every time,
Yeah.
every year, we've been like, oh, maybe The Last Guardian will be there. But now we actually have it. And I feel like last year we were kind of like, oh, it's actually here. How do we feel about it?
Do you
So,
think it's possible at all it will live up to the hype at all?
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
Well,
Well, so
you heard it here
No.
first.
I'm almost positive this will be playable on the show floor. Someone will actually play it. It's real. We've actually put previews up on
Right.
on websites that people have.
Websites that people read.
People
it
that read,
exists.
yeah, and they've held a controller in their hands and controlled this game and seen it with their eyes and heard it with their ears. It is a real thing, unless they were tricked in
Yeah.
some 20-minute weird neural experiment.
Hypnosis.
Well, I feel the same way about The Last Guardian. I mean, I want it to succeed, and I hope it's awesome. I'm afraid that the hype machine has sort of hyped it up the same way. I feel the same way about it that I feel about Shenmue 3. Shenmue 1 and Shenmue 2 were not that great, and I feel like we remember them way more fondly than we actually felt about them at the time.
the rose-tinted goggles of
Right.
nostalgia.
Right.
I
A
don't
lot
like
of that comes
goggles.
from the fact that we didn't have a lot of problems when we were younger, because you don't really have a lot
Life
to
was
deal
simpler
with.
back
It was
then.
so much. That's exactly.
It's all we had.
It's all we had was that game and its sequel.
All right. What else?
Just Shenmue. That's all
Mommy
we
and
had.
Daddy.
What else do you predict?
What do I predict?
Yeah. What do you think's going to happen?
What? God,
Maybe
so
there'll be
threatening.
Maybe there'll be some more cosplayers in Ubisoft's audience again.
Oh,
they
I'm
seem
su-
to really like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
look, the meme man has arrived again. He's returned with more memes
The
of
meme
goodness.
man.
Yeah.
I was really
Yeah, he-
hoping for maybe some Crash Bandicoot news, but I think we've seen most of what Microsoft is going to show.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
all of it,
Yeah.
no.
Okay. What are your thoughts on the hardware that's going down? There's that slim box. There's the
It looks like a baby Xbox.
Oh,
I mean,
a
I
little
guess it's fine.
baby
like a
Xbox?
big Xbox pooped out a little Xbox. It's like, what, this big?
It
And
does.
you-
It looks like a flattened Xbox.
And then you turn it on its side, and it looks like a PlayStation 4.
So, Alexa,
Yeah.
how many E3s have you been to?
this is my fifth.
Your fifth one.
Yes.
What is your favorite E3 memory?
Oh my gosh, I really liked Sony's press conference from last year. I thought it played out like fan fiction, like someone who just loves E3 went home one night and just decided to write something and post
Yes.
it on fanfiction.net.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was total fan fiction.
Now-
Shenmue, Last Guardian, Final Fantasy VII.
The problem with that is a lot of those haven't totally come true yet.
No,
Like
fan fiction.
most
Like good
fiction.
fan fiction.
Like DeviantArt drawings, luckily.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of hope that the big thing this year, and obviously we're still so kind of fresh into E3 that we haven't really seen anything.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that we see more companies kind of taking a page out of Bethesda's book with Fallout.
Right.
Just being like, hey, it's coming out this year. You get to play it.
Yeah.
There it is, out in the wild, and it's not that kind of like, 2-year hype cycle that we got with the first Watch Dogs.
that's too long. I
Yeah.
think 2 years is too long. I felt the Fallout 4, like it's coming, and then at E3 we'll show you everything, and then that 6-month wait, I thought that was perfect.
So we've seen the it's out in a week, and we've seen the it's out today. I think the way people can top that is it's been out for a month, and you didn't know.
That sounds like
It's hiding behind the boxes in the store.
Sounds like a
"Oh my
Konami
God."
approach.
That'd be amazing.
Right?
Like, we
If, like-
released it yesterday and nobody noticed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of Wii games on the shelf, and you move them out of the way, and there's
And
like
the Last Guardian is there.
Oh my God, it was
Stealth
there the whole
marketing.
time.
Trico comes out and licks your hands and nuzzles you, and it's like, here
Weird.
it is.
Real weird.
Wow, I would love that if like the actual bird dog came out.
Well, they have the bird dog. I don't know if they have it here. They had the wall at TGS where they had Trico,
Yeah.
like with sensors, and you could like pet him, and he'd yell at you and stuff like that. I don't know if they have it here. It was really cool.
I really hope they do because I want to go pet that weird giant digital animal.
Yeah, pet that weird giant digital animal. That's what people do here
It's a
at E3.
sentence I said
Petting
today at
digital
work.
animals.
Alexa, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Where can people find what you're doing?
I am at GameSpot.com.
How do you spell that? Do you spell the spot? Is the spot like a first period or?
Yes.
Okay.
GameSpot.com, and then I'm on Twitter. I have a book coming out later this year.
What?
Ooh.
Really?
I wrote. There's a small publisher called Boss Fight Books.
What
that
game?
do
What game? What game? What
Kingdom
game?
Hearts 2.
Nice.
Awesome.
Cool. So if you want the definitive Kingdom Hearts 2 book, I hope you wrote it because I just
Oh.
sort of called it definitive.
I
So.
hope
It
it's
is
definitive,
it is
yeah.
a wild trip. If you know nothing about Kingdom Hearts, I recommend you stay away because you might feel a little overwhelmed.
Okay.
I think you should read it. I've read a lot of books I knew nothing about going in,
Cool.
I will
such
send
as
you-
Moby Dick.
Well, Alexa, thank you for joining us. We're going to go to commercial, and when we get back, we have a live bear in the studio, and we should probably leave the studio.
What?
Run.
IGN Live at E3, presented by Independence Day Resurgence, in theaters June 24th.
Your father was the bravest man I've ever seen.
We all lost someone we love.
Oh my God. They're coming back.
Make no mistake, this is humanity's last stand.
We've got to remind them Earth is not for the taking.
Independence Day Resurgence.
What's up?
Welcome back to Up at Noon Live. I'm Brian Altano. This is Max Scoville. It's E3 2016 right here on IGN. We've been live streaming for what seems like a very long time so far, but we're really just getting started.
Yeah, and so far, pretty much nothing's happened. E3 hasn't started yet, so, you know, it's a cool slot to have.
That's the best part of E3 is like you work 3 or 4 days and then they're like, welcome to E3 day 1. You're like, I'm in a time vortex.
Okay. So, you know, we did some preparations, I guess, to get ready for the old show here that we're doing. You probably can't tell, but we got some questions from Twitter. You guys had some curious things to wonder about old E3. So we figured, you know, we're kind of veterans. You know, I put this out on Twitter like last week, and I said, what's something you've always wanted to know about E3? And I figured, you know, how many E3s is this for you, Brian?
This is my 8th E3.
Yeah, this is my 6th. So like we've been around for a minute. We've kind of got the swing of things. So I figure we could take some of your questions. Let's get that first one up there. Why is it always in LA? Well, funny you should mention that.
I thought this was missing a letter or a word. Like, why is it always hot in LA?
It's a weird thing. E3 is not always in LA. It was in 2007. It was in Santa Monica, and I believe in 96 and 97 it was in Georgia, I think. But it was in Georgia, which was kind of weird. But on that note, it's probably because it's close to a lot of studios, and you know, LAX is right there, and it's a big convention center. So you know, that's kind of your answer there. Let's get that next question. Where do all the booth parts and giant character dioramas go when the show is over? Storage? Trash?
Oh, so this is
eBay?
actually a very fascinating moment. Happens every year at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, right at the end of E3, where just Teamsters run in, just real burly, like a Bobo, Double Dragon looking dudes, and they just tear the entire place apart and just carry like big pillars and dragons and trucks on their shoulders, and then it all just disappears. And then like 3 days later, there's like a weird, like very pleasant, like dainty cooking convention in the same exact space.
But where those things go, to answer your question, after E3, they go to, I believe, Comic-Con, Gamescom, PAX, PSX, Paris Games Week, PAX East, PAX South, GDC, and then if the game is delayed, then they come back to E3 for another year. Next question. What do we got? Where's
Alex
the bathroom?
Yeah, where's the bathroom?
Well, that's a good question.
He's right. There's only one bathroom at E3.
There's actually a lot of bathrooms. There's kind of scattered around. They're all over the convention center. Just ask a guide, and he'll probably let you know. What's the next question there? What do we got? Are there bathrooms? Okay.
Are the bathrooms gross, or are they any secretly unused bathrooms like in Harry Potter? I haven't seen those films, but now I want to.
There are definitely weird bathrooms around the kind of the conference rooms, and they're scary because like the lights will go out, and there'll be like one guy in the back, and it's like something out of Doom. You think there's going to be like a pinky demon in the toilet.
Also, most of outside downtown LA is one large bathroom.
Yeah, that's a good point. Next question. What do we got here? What does it smell like?
Now, we don't. This is specifically talking about E3, we hope.
Yeah, it smells like I would say ozone and like a bad barbecue, and then like kind of vanilla vape pen, and then a lot of car tire
It's
exhaust.
a weird thing because it starts out smelling okay, like kind of polyurethane and spray paint and heat.
Yeah.
And then it sort of dissipates and just goes to like a sort of rural stench.
Yeah.
And then spikes back up towards the end when you get used to it.
I was going to say it was kind of like a very urban stench. It's
really?
Yeah. It's a lot of smells like buildings.
It smells like old farms.
It definitely. I think it smells better than PAX Prime and Gamescom, but.
Stay tuned to IGN for the ranked list of the top 7 smelling conventions.
Next question up there.
How would you describe the smell?
Okay.
Okay. Is it a
You know,
yeah.
it
A lot of people
depends.
want to know about that.
The smells change depending on what games are coming out, I think.
Yeah, it smells.
The hype can be kind of gleaned through pheromones. Next question, please. Is that
That's the last question. Okay.
That was it?
A lot of people want to know how it smells. So
That was it? Really?
Hopefully we answered that for you.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
so
it.
that's everything we knew about E3 is that it smells kind of bad, and there we go. That's it. Yeah, the bathrooms are upstairs. Thank you. Okay, our next guest, Andrew Renee.
Hello.
Hey, hi.
How are you?
Hi, guys.
How long have you been here?
A while.
Sorry, you got to hear us talk about this.
Sorry about the smell.
No, I was trying not to interrupt, but you guys are very funny. Obviously, you know this.
I'm going to make a sort of gender bias statement here, but I feel like as men, we are more tolerant to terrible smells. So what does E3 smell like to you?
You know, as far as video game conventions go, E3 actually doesn't smell too terrible. Day one, it's good. It just smells like, you know, lots of electronic parts, like that new game smell.
Yeah.
So it's good, but then by day two, then the human odors start to collect. It gets a little musky.
It gets that
rank.
human
and
condition.
then by day three, it just smells like farts. So.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a big toot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it
Large.
doesn't go much further than that.
And then it's over, and then the Teamsters come in.
Yeah.
They come in and tear it apart.
So what are you excited about this year?
There's a lot to be excited about. I was personally super pumped to see Mass Effect Andromeda at the EA press conference. And even though it looked beautiful in Frostbite,
Yep.
it was so short.
I know.
I was so disappointed.
I know, 'cause
I
this
mean,
is-
excited but disappointed.
This is 2 years in a row now where we got like a sort of teaser-ish thing and nothing that's sort of definitively like, this is what you'll be playing.
right.
And that's not enough for us.
No, I mean, there's not another, like, E3 before the game comes out, hopefully.
Don't say that. They'll make another E3 before the game comes out. They have no problem doing that.
So I had really hoped that they were going to show at least a little bit of gameplay, maybe give us some more details. I keep asking around the show, is there a behind closed doors for Mass Effect? Do you guys
Right.
have the scoop? What's going on?
Because that happens sometimes where they'll
Yeah.
show us something here, but there's a
Right,
a
like the
secret-
judges, like the Critics Awards judges, like get
Yeah.
a special secret
I feel like
viewing.
if it's anything like Dragon Age Inquisition or that canceled BioWare game like Shadow Realms, they're probably going to have it at PAX West, PAX Prime, whatever.
I mean, yeah, I know BioWare is great at doing community events. They always do cosplay contests and panels and things like that. So I would be definitely happy to see something at PAX West, but I wanted it now.
I
Yeah.
know. This is a big celebration, you know?
Yeah,
Like, don't-
exactly.
Don't tell us it's not ready yet. I'd rather actually just not see it and then just hear about it when it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. What are you going to do in that game? In that Mass Effect game, huh?
What do you mean? What am I going to do?
You know what I'm talking about? You gonna do stuff with those weird aliens?
Like kisses?
Oh, I mean,
Kissing an alien.
Kissing.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Liara was my homegirl all 3 games. Like she and me.
Well, they're all dead now, so sorry.
What's
I don't want to think about that.
Okay, let's get out of that.
All right.
Spoilers.
What's another one of your predictions for E3, or at least hopes?
So one of my hopes is that sometime tomorrow we'll see Shadow of Mordor 2. Like, I really loved this game from Monolith and Warner Brothers, and we got a little leak earlier this year from a stunt woman who listed it on her resume because people appear to do this quite often these days.
Yeah.
That it was in development. Obviously, Warner Brothers has not confirmed that. They haven't come forward and said, yes, it's underway, but I mean, I hope it is. I really liked that game a lot.
Now it's going to be. I'm going to keep actualing people about this. It wouldn't technically be Shadow of Mordor 2. It would be Middle Earth 2. Probably Shadow of something else, you know.
Who cares?
I'm just saying. I'm just going to put that out there.
No one's gonna. That's not a title
Well,
for a game.
I don't want to
Sure,
go back to
Max.
Mordor.
Middle of nowhere,
Mordor is
too.
depressing. I want to go to like Fangorn Forest and fight spiders and dogs or whatever.
I'd be into that.
Yeah.
Why don't they just put out a game called Actually?
I'd like a nice Tom Bombadil
Actually.
dancing game.
Do you think they'll get Nolan North to do all the voices again? Of all those weird orcs?
What is your final prediction for E3?
Try to keep it together.
Just looked us dead in the face like, no, I don't think so.
Not happening.
My final prediction for E3 actually I think might come true. I said, you know, when we guys were talking about this, that Microsoft has to come forward with another big first-party title.
Yes.
They had, you know, their big 3, you know, last year that they were promoting. Obviously, Gears is coming out later this fall. And I had thought maybe Dead Rising, and now we got these leaks with the 2 GIFs and the screenshots for Dead Rising 4.
And it's like Christmas themed,
I mean,
which is cool, but like not when it's not Christmas.
mean, but if it comes out, this fall, like in November, it will work out, right?
Yeah.
But what if you're one of those guys that buys it used at GameStop in like February and,
Well, then you can, just relive the glory days of Christmas that was just 2 months ago. I don't know.
All right. Well, what else would you hope to see from Microsoft? If you could, do you want to see something brand new, something we've never seen before?
Well, I mean, they did unveil some new IP last year. We're going to see more of Recore this year, which is exciting. I would like to see an RPG. I think now that Fable is sadly gone, that's kind of a big hole for them. They're very known for their action shooter games, and I would really like to see a good like fantasy RPG.
No, they had Blue Dragon like a long time ago, which is like this weird JRPG that like totally tanked because it was like, this is not what these people are here for. But I'm totally with you. I'd love to see them try like a brand new sort of action RPG, or even like go a little more traditional with it. They need more sort of like feathers in that cap when it comes to things like that.
Absolutely.
The old hat full of feathers. At Microsoft.
I like a nice feathered cap now and then.
That's a Photoshop waiting to happen.
Now, where can people find you? You're doing a lot of stuff this show.
Yeah,
you doing stuff for us
I'm super excited to be hosting IGN Access with you guys. You guys can use the hashtag IGN Access if you want to chat with me about what's happening at the press conferences. So I'm doing that for you guys. I'm really excited. And then
it's super cool to have you.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. You guys are the best. Like, IGN's awesome. So.
Well, don't say that just yet, because then you're also going to say the other 4 sites that you're helping out this year.
True,
So
different kinds of content. So I've been hosting for Yahoo Esports. We launched back in March. So I'm going to be doing some really cool esports content later on this week. And then I'm appearing on the GameSpot main stage with Alexa, who was just here.
Yes.
We're doing a fun segment, and some other people, Chris Waters, I Justine, Jeff Kanata. You saw their 90s video that they put out.
So cool.
So good. So they have a crazy lineup of people over there. And then on Thursday, I'm doing my G&D Weekly show. That's a recurring show on Playboy's Gamer Next Door.
Ooh, wow. Which is now safe for work.
It is. It's safe for work. In case you didn't know, there's no more nudes for Playboy. They're like, we're done with that.
Yeah.
They're going the route of like a Maxim or
you don't know where else to find
Esquire,
them,
that kind of a thing.
Not going to last long on this internet.
It sucks. That was like the last place on the internet to see naked
I
women.
mean, like,
it's over.
Boobs are a quick Google search away, so they got the memo.
Cool.
What a box quote that is.
On that note, we're going to take one more commercial break. Andrea, thank you for joining us, and have fun with the old IGN Access.
Thanks for having me,
Good
guys.
luck on that show.
That's right. Thanks for coming.
All right. We'll be right back.
Aerial footage provided by Independence Day Resurgence, in theaters June 24th.
She has arrived. Who is she?
Our whole lives have built up to this moment. Now we've got to remind them Earth is not for the taking.
Independence Day Resurgence. That is definitely bigger than the last one. In theaters in IMAX 3D, June 24th.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome
Once again.
back.
Don't do that.
That's
Don't
a
do
song.
the singing. That's not a song. No one sings that
That's
song.
a song. It's this theme song to Welcome Back, Kotter, a show from 70 years ago. I'm surprised you didn't
excuse
remember
me
that.
for not thinking about old sitcoms at E3, which is about
Okay.
the future.
It is about the future.
It is
So
about the
let's
future.
talk about the future, Max.
This
E3 is happening right now.
It is the far-off year of 2016. But what if it wasn't?
Okay.
What if it was actually the future of 10 years from now, which will be 2026?
What a dumb-sounding year that is.
Yeah, what a great segue into this
2026.
next segment where we're going to look at what is going to be unveiled at E3 2026. Honestly,
future.
It's stupid because we're doing this whole show before E3 started, so like we're kind of like, golly, what do you think's going to be here? So let's just go balls out. Let's go completely weird. Here's what I think
Yeah,
is
let's just
coming.
go completely balls out.
Can I say balls out?
Can you say balls out?
I can't say balls out. Balls to the wall?
I don't think you can say balls to the wall either.
Okay, anyway. So there's a lot of rumors going around about Sony doing the PlayStation 4K, the 4.5, the Neo, whatever they're going to call it. A lot of people are worried that's going to fragment their user base. Well, in the year 2026, it might be even worse than you thought. PlayStation is announcing the PS 4.75S VRCA 10.1
What is the
Holiday
VRCA?
2026 edition.
What is that? Is that the game Crossfire?
It's the Katoki. Hajime Katoki designed it.
Is that a crane
Of
game
Gundam
with
fame.
a Sackboy in
It's
it?
got a Sackboy. It's got the VR support. It's got a built-in router. It's got a vacuum cleaner. It even has a printer, so you can print your own issues of PSM. And there's Crossfire.
Oh, so the magazine industry is still striving.
And a grappling hook. You can have a 3D printer and a regular printer. And look at the Vita. It finally found a home, glued to the top of a PS 4.5S, 75S.
This
All
is
right.
a nightmare.
Meanwhile,
no.
What's going on with Microsoft? Is VR the future? Is HoloLens the future? Who knows? Let's take a look at what they're doing. Oh my goodness, the X-Ball and X-Boggle Xmas Bungle.
What?
Yeah, finally.
Did you say bungle?
Balls out, indeed.
Stop saying
put on
that.
these goggles and get to the boggles, because the Xmas, I don't know, they get just.
This looks like a Guy Fieri VR
Esports
simulator.
is here. Those are actually Guy Fieri sunglasses.
Really?
Yep. No, seriously, I had to cover up the logo. Anyway, next up, a lot of people are worried. Nintendo's kind of hasn't been really competing in the video game race. They've been doing really well with toys, so they said screw it. In the year 2026, they're out of games entirely. No more electronics. They are doing the Super Nintendo Fun Factory for the kids, where they play with the squishy goo, and then the Vape Boy Color for delicious Hyrule vanilla scents.
That's true. Kids love vaping.
Yeah, well, in the future, there will be no laws and everyone will live in space. Meanwhile, there are going to be some huge big games in the year 2026.
Can't wait for them.
For instance, this one, oh man, it's the authentic, only 90s kids will remember this. It's Assassin's Creed 99. You're sent back in time to the eve of Y2K, where you play as a guy named Trevor, who has to assassinate the evil Templar leader, Fred Durst. Oh my God, those guys are going to notice you if they sober up at all.
I'm surprised at how much health he has.
Just shove him off the stage. Okay, and then of course it wouldn't be E3 without EA, and EA's got they said screw it, and they fused their two biggest properties together. You might like sports, you might not, but everyone loves Madden Field 50-yard line. Yeah, General Madden's here, and he wants you to get out there and get in the game because there's a tank there.
John Madden looks like a wax museum version of John Madden.
Yeah, that's true. That was actually a really difficult thing to Google image search. Next up, here's a look at it in action. Look at how cool this game is.
Oh, wow, they're just dropping those football players right on there.
Yeah, you're trying to play a game of sports, but there's dudes running around tanks and helicopters and stuff. It's a mess.
How does the crowd feel about that? I feel like they would be dead.
Yeah, probably. It wouldn't go so hot. Also, I like that one guy is just... I don't even know what sports move that is if you sort of skydive in front of an Apache. Anyway.
It's called the rotation tool in Photoshop.
Meanwhile, Activision's endless march of Skylanders continues, but they're really doing something that will appeal to the millennial crowd. It's the meme squad. Oh yeah, all your favorites.
Just in time for 2016's hottest memes in 2026.
You know what, you joke, but in 2026, there's going to be a whole generation of people who are real nostalgic for memes, so this is probably going to appeal to people who are our age in the future then.
Also, it was really cool of 9gag to put their watermark on this one.
It's really weird that I put a 9gag watermark on my own Photoshop. Anyway, so there you go. There's the dark future of gaming, and
it looks like the future's really bad, so I'm glad we're living in the moment right now and we can enjoy what we have.
I wish a friend would join us.
Yeah, if someone could save us, that'd be really cool. Maybe somebody like Brandon Jones.
I'm not saving you from that future at all. That future looks awesome.
Hey, man, what's up?
Hey, E3.
E3,
yeah,
we're
it's
here.
happening.
You're here. This is awesome. We get to work together now.
This is always day one.
It is always day one.
Sunday's always day one.
So what's E3 day one then? Day 4?
Day 3. It's day 3.
Okay.
Day 1 is day 3 of E3. It's really simple, Brian.
It's very difficult. And you know a lot about days because you actually broke the record recently of being unemployed for the least amount of days.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Before
So your website Game Trailers went away.
Correct.
And you started a new thing.
Yes.
And then Game Trailer stuff ended up on IGN.
Correct.
Everything kind of worked out somehow.
Yeah, it actually worked out. I mean, like there were some bad things that happened for the good things to work out the way they did. But yeah, things are fantastic right now. Love the team. We're at Easy Allies right now, and love staying with the same people. And I thought it'd be totally lazy. Like after I got let go, I was like, oh man, I'm just gonna veg out and play games.
Fun
like,
employment.
This is too much fun, you know.
Yeah. I like how you're like I thought it's gonna be easy, and then you put the word easy in the name of your company.
It's an illusion. It's all we just try every time. Like we know what we're doing.
When did you guys start up exactly?
Start up the new thing?
Yeah.
March 21st was the day that we
Okay,
launched. So
so
we're here at E3. We're barely 3 months
How did
old.
that happen? That's nuts. Some companies have to exist for decades before they get to go to the first
It
E3.
is the strength of a strong community.
That's so
If
cool.
you get the right people backing you, you can do just about anything. So.
And the fans have been awesome to you.
Oh, yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
We're not entirely used to that ourselves. No, that's not true. They're very nice to us as well. I think a lot of people wanted to get us on the same stage, and now I don't know what to do. We're just all like, well, you wanted this.
It's a very intimidating stage.
It is.
Like, you get out here and you got to do something. I mean, you got to like upstage the stage itself.
This
somehow.
is like, I wish I'm like tied down. I wish I could walk around and just show you how gigantic this is.
Yeah.
Like knock on these big LEDs.
They
I'd
probably
get in a lot
get
of
real
trouble
mad
for
about that. Yeah.
I wanted to like climb in, but
Yeah.
it's not.
Also, have you
Limp
noticed there's a
Bizkit
new
just won a
Independence Day
VMA.
movie coming out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to Earth.
I know.
Again,
I'm
no,
kind of
welcome
bummed Will Smith.
back.
Is it bad that I'm not excited because Will Smith's not in it? Like, does it hinge that much on someone? I guess he like died or something in between.
So
the
he
movies
did
or
die in
something?
between.
Okay.
You got to catch up on the lore, man.
I would watch. I saw his wife's all sad.
I would
because all
watch Jeff
sad, so I
Goldblum
get
eat a
it.
sandwich. What are you excited
That's
for at
true.
E3?
Ever since Rockstar came out at the Sony press conference, I've been completely irrational in terms of expecting Rockstar to be at E3 because they're never at E3.
Yeah.
But
they're rock stars.
I want Red Dead anything. I want Red Dead 2 HD. I want Red Dead 3. I want it.
Do you want it to like sort of pick up and drop somewhere else entirely, or do you want?
Yeah. Especially for something, because I didn't play Revolver. That was not like a game that was on my radar, and then just like fell in love with Redemption. So like I don't need it to be more of the same. Like if they want to take it any crazy direction,
I think that's
go
exactly
for
what
it.
happened with most people. Like they got in on Redemption, which is like same thing happened a lot. I think with like Assassin's Creed 2, where a couple of people missed the first one, and then it really found its footing.
Well, same with GTA 3 might as well be GTA 1.
Yeah.
It's kind of
For a lot of
that was
people,
really
yeah.
when it got people's attention. Where do you think that like Red Dead specifically has to be like cowboys in Old West, or could it do one of those? I mean, what is it? What's the Ubisoft one? The cartel? No.
Ghost Recon?
No. The one that they did like there was the
I just want to watch
Call
you.
of
I'm just gonna
Juarez.
watch this
Call of
happen.
Juarez. And they were like, yeah, it's a cowboy story, but it's a modern cowboy story. And everyone's like, no.
Well,
no, thank
He's
you.
got a cell phone.
Well, it was really great. At the end of Red Dead, you kind of got to like a city. You're like, oh, I'm actually walking on concrete right now.
Yeah.
So like, it'd be interesting to see kind of the Wild West hit like the modern era. Maybe like throw some automobiles in there. Maybe like
Or what if it's
push
like
forward a couple
what if
decades.
it's like that movie The Village where he thinks he's in the Wild West and he just walks out and he's like, oh my God, I'm in Times Square.
Well, spoil it.
it's just
It's like they're not going to sell the game that way for sure.
Yeah, that'd be
Sorry, I
pretty
spoiled The Village.
weird. I'd like to see some good old 1920s. The ragtime dandies
That'd
are back.
be cool.
and
Rockstar could pick a decade and just make more games. That's all.
totally.
That's all that matters.
Yeah,
I'd like to
I'm
see
totally with you on
a
that.
GTA where there's just 3 cars, and everyone
Great.
else is riding like penny farthing bicycles around.
Oh, like back when
Yeah.
only 3 rich people had cars.
Yeah, and everyone
they were
else is like
I hate that guy.
staying inside, and someone's just like, if you want to listen to music, you got to go to somebody's house, and he's just going to play the piano.
Yeah, but it'd be really hard to steal cars in that game.
Yeah. What else? What else?
It's like
do you
car
predict?
chases in the first Mafia. You're just like, I don't know this stuff. I'm super hyped. Like all sorts of rumors are floating. There's rumors of Evil Within 2. I loved Evil Within 1. Like, talk about a game I was not. My expectations, I wouldn't say were low, but I was like curious.
Yeah.
And boy, I loved that game. That
Yeah,
game
I really
exceeded
got
my
into it. I felt the same way. Were you a big Resident Evil 4 guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this is sort of like, this was the first, because I know Resident Evil 5 and 6 didn't exactly hit where we wanted it to. And this game kind of really scratched that itch for me for a while. And it was very weird. Like narratively, I had no idea what was going on. Even I finished the game and I was like, oh, it's done.
And that usually ticks me off when you play a game and you're like, you're just making this up as you go along.
Yeah.
Like, there's no through line here. And the game kind of does that. It kind of messes with you and, like, affects your reality. But then, especially if you go into the DLC, it's interesting how different characters and different perspectives in that game against each other.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That was a very early game for current gen, right? That was, or was that last gen?
Not super early. I think it was about a year and a half ago.
Oh, like where it started out? Yeah, well, this gen, yeah.
But I mean, it's always kind of interesting because you do get those games that come out and they're sort of like, they look like slightly prettier versions of last gen games, and they're still kind of figuring out how to use the hardware. But I think we're at the point. I think we're kind of seeing this with, with Watch Dogs. I mean, if we see like a new Wolfenstein, it'd be really cool. Like just kind of really when developers know what they're doing,
Yeah, but this is a brand new franchise from somebody who knows how to do that genre, and it was just great. It was a game I had like my fingers crossed. I hope this is good.
Yeah.
And wide open for a sequel, I thought. So when these rumors first started coming in, I was like,
because there was this awesome sort of
happen.
element of deranged surprise in that game where you would open a door and be like, I have no idea what's going to be in here, and it'd be like, oh, it's a skeleton wolf spider woman. Yeah, she's trying to kill me. Or there was that guy. That guy back there.
Oh,
like what?
you say that guy. I think there's like multiple versions of him.
Is
It's
that
hard
what
to
it
really, like nail down if that's a guy or
It's
if
like
that's like
Pyramid's head's cousin, safe
Something-
safe
yeah,
head.
safe head.
It had a sort of supernatural element to it in that like I couldn't tell if there were like ghosts elements in there or if everything was tangible, evil, monster, mutant thing. And I know Resident Evil 4, there was like a prototype version of that game where Leon's actually in the mansion and he's like fighting poltergeists and stuff.
The original, with the hook guy. Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
God, that was so cool. So I'd love
Little
to see
dolls walking around.
Oh my God! Like, and they never really went in that direction with Resident Evil again. And then this game kind of did. So I'd be totally down for more stuff like that.
If Resident Evil 7 gets announced in the next couple of days, they got to match that. That's basically
for sure.
I think the best action horror has gotten to.
Yep.
I would really love to see just like a pure Resident Evil reboot because I kind of like the really old stuff, but it control-wise it's rough. You can kind of revisit the GameCube type of thing, but like I'd love to see something kind of the same way that like Metal Gear Solid 5 kind of examined the roots of the franchise and was really like, okay, what were we trying to do in 1997? Like what was the original the thesis of this game series and like somehow kind of reinvent that for Resident Evil, make something that appeals to both fans of like the really early kind of tank control stuff and the more action stuff. It'd be really cool.
You're way too optimistic.
And just be like, yeah, I know.
The more you explain that, the less likely it sounds.
Speaking of
time, it's
optimism,
on a tropical island.
Yeah.
Speaking of optimism, do you have one more prediction for us? Or hope or dream, wish?
I'm
Let
really
us stamp
curious
upon
to
it.
see. I mean, Xbox is talking about the PC players and Xbox players. All the games are coming out on both things now.
Yeah.
Yet Xbox owners are still paying for Xbox Live. PC owners are getting their online for free.
Yeah, that's weird how that's happening.
I'm
right?
wondering, and Microsoft had such a big reaction from backwards compatibility that year. You don't think that's really come to fruition yet? And so I'm really curious to see Microsoft make a big splash with not necessarily a game announcement or a sequel or a new franchise or something, with just functionality, just how much you have to pay for their services or how exactly that works. Because I think Phil is probably like, wow, I just walked on a stage and said something and got applause. How did that happen?
I mean, that would be huge. You tell anybody you'll save them, $50 a year, and that's a big thing. Do you actually see that happening though, where they come out and they go, no, right? Because they need the money.
But it would be great. I think that's what Microsoft needs to do. I think they need.
It would be a huge move, and I think there's ways to make it back. And if there was a sort of like a premium online that you could pay for, but just the basic Xbox Live premium version now is free for everybody. That'd be a huge get, because I think the crossplay stuff that we're sort of leading towards now could be a nice new way for the Xbox brand to move. Because right now it's just like if you're playing on PlayStation, you're playing on PlayStation, but the Xbox, you've got PC connectivity and stuff like that. So yeah, this is gonna be a weird E3, man.
It already is a weird E3.
It always is, and it just gets stranger and stranger.
We haven't even scratched on the PSVR stuff.
You were curious, like what I'm excited about. I'm like, well, Star Wars is on the list, but I crossed that off this morning, so
Yeah, that was. I mean, maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see a little more of something at one of the big conferences. But
maybe. Yeah, we could maybe do a rollout at some.
I was reading a stat that 63% of the games that were shown at E3 last year have not been released yet.
Interesting.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, speaking of EA, I actually went back to their press conference last year, and almost all of it had come out that year. I think it was like one or two things.
Yeah.
It's like, EA is definitely more on the point of kind of what's happening right now, which is probably why we didn't get a lot of.
Which is crazy that like all of a sudden they
Star Wars
become like one of the most trusted. For years it was like, oh, dude, I don't like
certain
EA.
things.
Yeah, for certain things. And now let's not give them the ultimate free pass.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's really cool. I'm all for games being announced and being playable within a at least brief window.
That's kind of the thing that makes games special is when you can play them.
Yeah, that's
Isn't
right.
that neat?
Right.
Otherwise, they're just these weird
when you see what they
demo
are,
things.
It's effective.
Where can people find what you're doing?
They can find me on Twitter at Trailer Jones, and you can find us at Easy Allies. We actually just got our website finally up and running, easyallies.com.
I saw it. It's very nice.
And we're also on Patreon and Facebook. And,
That's right.
And all that
Cool.
stuff.
Well,
so.
thank you so much for joining us.
for having me.
We've, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You're running around doing E3 stuff all week, right?
Yeah.
You're shooting videos with everybody in the world.
Everyone.
Each and every one of you.
I'm individually going to every single person in line for anything.
Unlock your front doors. Brandon Jones is coming for you.
Really weird thing to say. On that note, we are winding down, but I believe we have a Twitter question from one of our fine viewers. What does it say?
What does E3 smell like?
Yeah.
Is it on our Slack channel?
Yes, it is.
Our producer is so sassy right now because he's producing this whole thing,
Brooklyn
and
Boy-
then we're doing our usual thing.
Brooklyn Boy 02 says fresh pasta was traditionally produced by hand, sometimes with the aid of simple machines, but today many varieties of fresh pasta are also commercially produced by large-scale machines, and the products are widely available in supermarkets.
Really?
That is not even remotely close to being anything that resembles a question.
That's just a bunch of nonsense about pasta.
It is absolutely not nonsense, by the way. That is important news.
What are the chances we see something Crash Bandicoot related? This is from Dodge on the Run.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the Skylander thing?
Yeah, so it looks like, much like his old pal Spyro, Crash Bandicoot might be appearing as a good old Skylander.
Do you think so? So that means we'll actually get little playable toys of him, which is cool.
That's sort of awesome. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of like having a Crash Bandicoot amiibo, you know?
It basically is like having a Crash
which is a really roundabout way of saying it's like having a Skylander.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool.
It's a very long sentence.
Okay.
We got another one from Dennis. He says, which video game horses are you most excited to see more of it up at noon, E3 2016? We already watched one die today.
I want to see more of that. I want to see that battle.
I don't want to see more of that horse dying.
That game looks really cool. I like that there's just a bird in the tank and it's just flapping around. Everyone's
What's
scared.
going on with
the
that?
tanks look like they go like 4 miles an hour. I guess tanks are pretty slow anyway, but they got horses, they got trains, they got blimps, they got weird old grandpa planes. I'm excited about that.
In terms of video game trailers that secretly had a lot of animals in them I wasn't expecting, that's probably the winner of the show so far.
Yeah. Also, I was totally expecting Battlefield 1 to be like very much a return to that kind of like just the brown, gritty, old school kind of shooter.
Yeah, with the guy he's carrying the heavy musket.
It kind of looks like a BioShock game almost.
Yeah, they brought a lot of good energy to it. I think the art style is what's really defining how cool this game is going to be.
Also,
I wasn't
you can hit
expecting
somebody
that.
with a shovel.
Yeah, what's up with that?
It's violent.
And that man came on stage and he got really excited about that shovel.
I was excited about the shovel. I was shouting about shovels in the war room.
Yeah.
Shovelware.
Robert
coming for you.
Robert Poidock says, up at noon 2016, do you think Skyrim Remastered will be at the conference?
I think so, and I'm really excited about that. The best thing I could hope about a Skyrim Remaster is that they just nuke the loading times and they make it run really smoothly. That would be just my favorite thing, is if I could just pop that in and just, I mean, I love that game, but trying to go back and revisit it I played on 360, and it's it's brutal, because you're like, oh, I forgot my keys, and you go back in your house, and it's like, well, I'm going to go make a coffee.
So I wonder what happens with something like that, because like texture-wise, like the modding community has been working on this thing so much, and that they've almost handled this aspect of it on their own. The loading times obviously is something that I think has to come internally, but in terms of just like textures, couldn't they just get out there and be like, hey, can we borrow those?
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I mean, there's also the fact that they've got mod support on Xbox One now. Like having mods on consoles, having some kind of a Steam Workshop-esque thing where people can download to. I mean, I'm just hoping it would come to PS4 as well.
Yep.
I just want that one where you get the Thomas the Tank Engine trains instead of the dragons.
I'm down with that. Alex Osborne asks, what was your favorite moment from the EA press conference? You and I both geeked out at the Star Wars stuff, even though there wasn't a lot there, but it doesn't take much to get us excited about Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, we got that very, very brief glimmer of Amy Hennig's game, the Visceral game. Looks like Uncharted on Tatooine.
Yeah. I love just the description of that.
Yeah.
Especially after 1313 was canceled.
That's crazy. Also, they sort of very unceremoniously sort of revealed that Bosk is going to be in Battlefront.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Put that weird lizard dude, just snuck him in there.
I kind of wish that EA would maybe just like pump the brakes on doing a press conference when most of it's going to be like behind the scenes, like dev documentaries. Like I wish they were just like, hey, here's a trailer when it's ready.
I'm with you on that. I hope next year we just get a full hour of Star Wars from them.
Yeah.
Just show a movie.
Just show half Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, the first half.
The first half is really good. They got on that boat and blow it up.
It's really cool. I like the stuff with the bears at the end.
Yep.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching Up at Noon live right here at E3 2016. We're going to be streaming live from IGN Studio all week long, showing you some of the greatest games ever invented. I'm going to say that right now. The greatest games ever invented will be shown on the stage. Max, thank you so much. Thank you to all of our wonderful guests. They were so awesome, except for Anthony Carboni, who bailed on us at the last minute, but we still love you. And thank you to the camera flying away. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Have a good night.